Hello everyone, Quick Rick here, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 7155 Trade Federation AAT. This set was released in the year 2000 and has 158 pieces. The set was originally $20 and adjusted for inflation, today that's about $35, which I personally think is very, very expensive for this set. If you want this set new sealed today, it'll cost you about $200 and $64 used. Let's move on to the box. So this is the box in the set. It shows the two battle droids that are included in the set, some blast fire, and the Trade Federation AAT. On the back of the box, it shows the battle droids assembling the AAT and some alternate builds for the set that you could create. Let's move right on to the minifigures. The minifigures that come in the set aren't special at all. They're actually literally just two B1 battle droids. They're really just the generic ones. The only difference that they really have is obviously that they've got this a different blaster than the one that they use today. For example, this, just a regular blaster. But they also have a curvy arm on both sides instead of a straight arm on the side with the blaster. But yeah, it's just a generic battle droid minifigure. Nothing special about it. And they do include another one of them in the set, the exact same minifigure. But yeah, let's move right on to the build in the set. So this is the AAT. In my opinion, I absolutely adore this AAT. I think it's by far the best Alright, sorry about that. By far the best Phantom Menace AAT that LEGO's ever made. And it's kind of hard for them not to do that, because they've only made one other, but anyway. So, first of all, let's gaze at this beautiful printing at the front. I absolutely love it. It's because this is all printed. It's no sticker in it at all. And they just printed on these big two, like, dish pieces that were also used for the 2000 Millennium Falcon. I just think it looks absolutely amazing. But they did add some holes in the middle of it, just to make it more like Lego-y, but I think it still looks alright, but it would look a lot better if they weren't there. On the very front here, you have another printed piece. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. I'm sure it's accurate, but it's just there for detail. But if you open it up, then you can see this is the space where you pilot the AAT. So all you have to do is just put a battle droid inside the cockpit like so. You do have to take off his blaster though, because it doesn't fit in there. But yeah, you can just fit it in there, and his head also does have to be down, because if it was up, then it just wouldn't fit on. But yeah, you can see him inside there, but it does look kind of awkward with his head down, but it's pretty hard to notice. So moving right along to the cannons, or the side turrets in the set. This is probably my least favorite part of the set, honestly. Because these things can fall off insanely easily, like insanely. But they just, I don't know, it's not the best design, because they just use this big, well, they use these two 2x6s, just tan pieces to support it. It's really not stable at all. I think it looks alright, but it's just not the best for playability or anything. And the same goes with these two front like cannons or blasters. They just can fall off so easily because there isn't like any technique or anything connected to them except for these bricks, these headlight bricks. Yeah. And on the side here, they do use these I don't really know what they're called, but it's the same piece that they used a lot of times, like for the 1999 Naboo Starfighter and a lot of other early sets. I think it works really well here. Yeah. So on the back, moving to the behind cockpit, as you could say. So all I have to do is just open up this hatch right here. And that's also another major problem. This piece often comes off from these pieces because it's just studs, and these are very strong pieces. And these the 4 studs aren't really strong enough to keep the top panel on. I mean, sometimes it's fine, but like this time it's not. And like in the front, you can put your other bow droid up on top of here. And he just sits in there. There's no studs or anything. And also in here, there's this little hatch for binoculars, which I think is a pretty nice storage and play feature. It was kind of hard to get out of the. Most of the time, just have to tip it over. But yeah, it's just a generic Lego rangefighter piece in old gray though. So I think it's pretty cool. And there is this little red piece stopping from the two things connecting to compartments. And the bow droid can also fit inside there, but you also have to have his head down. It doesn't fit. And even with this head down, it's like, this is very unstable, as you can see. But you can eventually fit him if you put him into a specific spot. Like that. This set isn't really a play set at all. It just looks really nice in display in my opinion. But yeah, he does fit in there, but it's pretty hard to. So you can take off the top gun, and you can see that's connected by this piece, this rotating thing. And I think it does a really good job, because all the modern ones, there's actually a stopper, like really early on, but this actually gives you a lot more room to shoot it. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong though. I think it's kind of hard to tell. So yeah. So moving on to the top barrel. Now this is probably the most stable part of the build, honestly, because it's connected by just a series of these Technic pins. It works really well. And yeah, now I think it just looks very, very beautiful on the side, because it actually has like the right proportions with the cannon on like the 2020 AAT, I think it is. Yeah, moving on to the back of the set, right here, you can see a lot of blue, and that's also one of the major problems about it, because in Lego's very early Lego Star Wars sets, they just include random pieces wherever they really could, and it doesn't affect the experience that much, because you're always looking at the front and never at the back, but it is kind of annoying. And you could just replace it with tan bricks, and it would be fine, because they're only like 2x2 and 2x4 bricks. But yeah, then back here, you can actually see there's a little compartment for like, there's some clips for the Bowdred's guns. So all you have to do is just stick it. It's kind of hard to get to, especially at this angle, but you can just stick it in there like so. And it is pretty tucked away and just hidden overall. But you can fit both of them in there. Like so. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good feature that they added. Moving on to the underside of this set, there's actually very little bricks at the very bottom, because basically it's just these two big plates like I mentioned earlier, and then just a couple filler bricks inside there, and then these old brown plates, and that's really it for the front of it. So that's why this set really doesn't have many pieces, but there really doesn't have to be anything underneath there. The most crucial thing to the set, so it looks so good, is this back right here, because without it, it would fall immediately, because there's absolutely no weight in the front. It's so back heavy, but this is just like an even balance of weight. But even like this, it's really barely keeping it up, because it does lean back so much, but still it looks very nice in my opinion. And yeah, another look at the underside. It's just basic bricks, really, nothing really special. And yeah, that's about it for my review of the Lego Star Wars Trade Federation AAT. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Quick Brick out.